2-2-2 or I throw. Sounds familiar? You probably said that at one point. When I was smurfing in Silver in Season 6, I was surprised every game Silver players insist on 2-2-2, because I almost never hear that in my games. Welcome to Get Out of Silver, a series for anyone who want to climb out of Silver, even if they can't aim. For your information, in my region, 2-2-2 is almost never asked for in games mid-gold and above. When I play games in mid-gold to mid-platinum, I realize players in my region accept any team composition. It is almost like a general understanding. Pick what hero you're good at and we try to make it work. Except for Hanzo. You Hanzo, I report. While that sounds like a joke, it is true. Today we are going to talk about a very basic topic. Hero roles. Okay, this is a very good foundation before we move on to team composition. The game Overwatch classifies heroes into 4 groups. Offense, Defense, Tank and Support. Now these groups are less about hero roles, but more about the players who pick the heroes. Offense class is the most offensive towards healers. They will blame healers for not healing them, even when they overextend and can't kill anything. Defense class players are always defensive, because the moment you pick Hanzo and Widow, you'll be blamed for everything when you lose. Support class players are found seeking emotional support after playing the game. You are expected to heal offense class players, but they will not protect you when you need help. Tank class is a little different. The word tank is a great hint from Jeff Kaplan about your skill rating, which is going to tank because in Silver, all your healers are dead because nobody protects them! Okay, that was the funny part of my video, but it is true at least for me. Let me know in the comments below if this is similar to your experience in competitive. Now back to the learning part of the video. One problem about Overwatch is the game never teaches you much on how to get better. Instead they give out gold medals to tell you, hey, good job for losing. So we have to figure out a lot of the stuff ourselves, including hero roles. Frankly, most players have not figured out. It is worse in Silver because without the understanding of the hero's role and their job, everybody is trying to do everything. I've seen tanks focus on dealing damage and not blocking damage. And they wonder, I have good damage, why does my DPS suck? I even went undercover as a DPS Reinhardt. You know, a Reinhardt who doesn't block but only swings his hammer. Of course we lost, but funny enough the healers blamed the DPS for not killing. It is obvious the problem was with the tank for not blocking damage. The situation is made worse when Overwatch does not have a global scoreboard. If we can compare the damage block on both teams, we can have a better idea what the problem is. But Jeff Kaplan wants us to feel nice when we play the game, so we will buy more loot boxes. So we will not get a scoreboard anytime soon. The only thing we get is a sort bot and confusion. But hey, this is where YouTubers like me come to help. Well, what makes me more qualified to talk about team composition? After all, you are just a toxic Hanzo main who is stuck in platinum. Well, here's a little history. I never played any first-person shooter before this. I've always been a strategy game player. I grew up playing Command & Conquer games, StarCraft, Warcraft, and Total War. In those games, understanding unit roles and assigning the right unit for the right job is the key to victory. So what are the roles in Overwatch? Okay, this is my way of classifying the hero roles. Main DPS is the main damage dealer. These heroes are expected to have gold medals for damage. Your job as a main DPS is to break down enemy barriers and bring your enemies to low health for your teammates to secure the kill. Off DPS can have gold damage, but it is not to be expected. Now the first row of heroes specialize in one-shotting the enemy. You are not expected to deal a lot of damage, but the damage you deal should result in a kill. Now the benefit of one-shotting the enemy is the healers have no chance to save the target. Here's a tip. If the enemy are running off DPS without any main DPS to break down the barriers, picking a barrier heavy comp and you're going to be quite safe. Second row are flankers. You're expected to attack the enemy from behind and pick off low health targets. I have to mention the obvious. Of course, with enough skill, off DPS heroes can often deal more damage than your main DPS. but the purpose of this guide is to provide a basic understanding about hero roles. The main tank role is to block damage with barriers. If done correctly, nobody on your team will take damage. If your team does not have a main tank, it is very hard for DPS to actually deal damage without taking a lot of risk. Off-tank have a few jobs. First is to block the damage with their body. Yes, taking damage is part of your job. Or should I say, taking damage without dying is your job. Off-tanks have ways to regain health on their own if the situation calls for it. The second is to charge your healer's ultimate. This ties in the first job you have. You take some damage and your healers keep you alive. Third is to save your teammates from flankers. As you can see, off-tank and healers are best friends. They depend on each other to be effective. You will notice I place D.Va a little different because at the time this video is made, she is a main tank. Currently defense matrix lasts 4 full seconds, and this gives her the potential to block more damage than Reinhardt's barrier. But this is about to change in the upcoming patch, so I can't tell for sure what her role is after the change. Because of the defense matrix nerf, I see her to be an off-tank after the change. Main support job is to provide a lot of heals. Ana and Mercy specialize in single target healing. They can bring low health teammates back to full health very quickly. Off support job is to buff the team. Torbjorn provides armor, Symmetra provides shield. Zenyatta is different because his main job is to debuff the enemy with Discord Orb. Yes, I know Harmony Orb is decent healing and Transcendence have the potential to do massive heals, but you should treat those as a temporary buff. Lucio is in a special spot because he can do both. The aura can either provide healing or buff the entire team with a speed boost. When Lucio amp it up, the healing is comparable to a main healer. Now I put him in a special spot because you have to choose between healing and buffing. A team without a main healer will have problems with burst damage. A team with only main healers will lack important buffs, so it's good to have both. I know at lower levels Torbjorn and Symmetra is treated as DPS, but their roles are much closer to support than any main DPS or off DPS. One major difference I see in silver games compared to my games in gold and platinum is in gold and platinum people tend to focus on their role better. Now that you understand hero roles, it's much easier to talk about team composition in the next episode. So subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification button to be notified when the episode is released. If for some reason you like videos like this, visit my YouTube channel. The channel is Toxic Hanzo Main. If you subscribe to my channel, I promise not to pick Hanzo when you are in my game.